Hey everybody, welcome back. MOTUS, M-O-T-U-S, that is an acronym that stands for Musicians of the Utah Symphony. And this evening I have a couple of stalwarts who are here with me. We're going to talk about some of the fantastic activities that this organization has been endeavoring to accomplish, in addition to and outside of the amazing music that the Utah Symphony produces for us residents of this beautiful state. I'm excited to be joined by Yuki MacQueen and John Eckstein. How are you all? Welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year. It's a little late into the season, but I haven't seen any Utah Symphony reps, so it's nice to see you all here. Thanks. For folks who may not be familiar, talk about about MOTUS, about your organization that stands as I take it as a supplement to the togetherness that you have that is strictly in the musical sense.
Yeah, that's right. So MOTUS is something that's been spearheaded by a member of the symphony named David Porter, who's a violinist. And it's something that sort of stands outside of the orchestra. It's certainly something the orchestra likes to see happen. It gives us a chance to get into a different audience base, or at least be in a different relationship with them, and maybe cultivate more audience, maybe give people a chance to appreciate classical music in a different venue, sort of break down the barrier between audience and musician a little bit.
Yeah, our concerts are so formal usually. We walk on and don't say a thing and bow and they clap and that's all the interaction. But this gives us more interaction with the audience.
Sure.
And I was thinking about that as you were talking about kind of the format of what a symphonic event, a symphonic concert is like. Mm-hmm. And by the same token, it occurred to me in the same thought that there must be, I'm sure that there is, a passionate fan base, to use that term, not just for the symphony and the music that you make, but for individual performers. We all have our favorite Beatle, we have our that sort of thing that we, for various reasons that we identify with. I'm guessing that you have a chance to see and receive some of that through these smaller and more intimate but also casual events.
I guess, yeah. I mean, we're quite a lot more anonymous than the Beatles, but
yes, slightly.
But it does give us a chance to chat with people between sets and talk about the composer we just played, or about whatever they're drinking. So yeah, it's it's relaxed and nice.
Talk about what the process is like to select the pieces that you're going to include, and also if you would talk a little bit about, and I'm no expert in symphonic music, so I'm thinking of sort of different sizes of groups, from quartet to what constitutes a chamber group and that kind of thing. Talk about how you make those decisions for this series of events.
Would you like to talk about that?
Go ahead.
Okay. In this sort of circumstance, I think whether there's a piano handy is an issue, whether there's a good piano handy, because a lot of times these are happening in bars or restaurants. And typically I think the smaller ensembles do a little better, trios, quartets. And we're going to be playing a couple of movements of a quintet, but that's a fairly large, that's 5 people. For this sort of function, I think it's a little, that's on the larger side. We're also going to be playing some trios, some duos, there'll be some solos. Each set, I think there are 3 or 4 sets?
Yeah.
And each one is, I think, 18 to 20 minutes long. So it's, it's real easy, and there's, time to order another drink between sets.
Sure.
I mean, not for us, but
it's really surprising what is a hit with the audience and what isn't. Like you think, oh, they'll certainly like this because the standard repertoire or whatever. And this is 20th century, so maybe we're pushing the envelope. But then that's the one that gets all the applause or all the whistles. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to see the raw reaction of people under the influence, perhaps, or I don't know what.
Yeah, Bartok's really great.
Well, and an interesting point that you make, that of course folks may have dinner and a glass of wine or two before going to the symphony, but this is an entirely different setting for sure.
Of course, they can do that at Deer Valley too, which that's true. Here we are in Park City. I don't think there's an orchestra that has a better summer venue than we do. I mean, Deer Valley is special.
It is spectacular.
Yeah, and when they start dancing in the all
Yeah.
over the place. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is really fun.
That's fantastic. Before we talk about this weekend's event, let's talk a little bit about the other works that you all are engaged in. You mentioned Haiti, and I think
Right.
a really wonderful and to me enlightening part of the kind of work that you're doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Haiti connection is through me. A very close friend of mine that I've known for a long time has been traveling to Haiti every summer. She's a cellist and a professor at a university in Wisconsin. She's been traveling to Haiti every summer for the entire summer for the last 20 years. And that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, living in Haiti is challenging. And I know that she's lived in very challenging places. I know she's had a lot of diseases, and you know she keeps going back, and she is something else. So Yuki and I and our friend James Hall this summer decided, well, let's go help. You know, she takes students there. Occasionally, she'll be able to convince a colleague to go, but we decided this is a good thing, and so we went and we taught, and we kind of fell in love with the kids. They're, you know, special. They're great, and we felt this was, and there are a lot of kids studying classical music there, believe it or not. I mean, with all the challenges they have, believe it or not, after the earthquake of 2010, the number of music schools expanded dramatically to now there's something like 30 schools that she works with in bringing kids into camps in the summertime. And so we had an idea while we were there, what if we brought some more of our colleagues who know a lot about this stuff and these kids and got them together to work together. And the logistics of that happening in Utah were a little problematic, you know, bringing 100 kids up. And so instead, there are 16 of us from the Utah Symphony, a friend of ours from the Detroit Symphony, and our music director, Thierry Fisher, who are going to Haiti next month, and we're putting on what's known as the first Haitian National Orchestral Institute. And so we'll be teaching all the instruments. Our maestro, we didn't, you know, I mentioned it to him in an email, like, you know, we're doing this and all of these people from your orchestra are doing it, and you'd be the best possible person to come, but I know you're very busy. And we went into his office and he said, you know.
Yeah, he gave us a meeting just to talk about it. And I happened to compile this little photo book, like an album, you know, of what happened there. And just by chance, Fisher happened to be born in Zambia, Africa, because his parents were missionaries. And so somehow this picture brought back his childhood memories.
Yeah, I think it looked like his grade school class. And
pretty
it was
much.
Like,
Yeah, so he was on board right away. So it wasn't just us explaining what we were going to do, but he just wanted to join us. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to try to give them a, you know, whatever training we can in that period of time. And boy, we found them to be incredibly receptive, interested, dedicated kids. And there's a lot of talent there. I mean, there's talent everywhere, and Haiti's no different. And so giving them an opportunity, but you know, they're sort of cut off from the traditions of, you know, of Europe and the United States in the training that we get. I mean, like, you know, I have a teacher that studied with Pablo Casals, you know. I mean, we're really close. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, Yuki's teacher played the Prokofiev concerto for Prokofiev.
Himself, yeah.
You know, so
I know.
It's
the lineage is quite direct.
It's quite direct.
So it's fun to be able to bring our knowledge and our experience and share it a little bit, you know. And backtracking just a few seconds, at that summer camp and in this orchestral camp we're going to do, there are kids from all kinds of economic backgrounds. So you think Haiti, it's all third world. It's not all third world. You have some Restoveks, which are like kind of working children, but you also have kids of wealthy people and some the Haitian diaspora, so people who move to Miami or whatever, send their kids back for cultural immersion in the summer, so that they know their own culture. Sure. Yeah, so we were meeting all kinds of people.
And so actually this program is bringing in, it's being held in a town called Jacmel, which is not far from Port-au-Prince, but it takes about 4 hours by car. but only about 30 of the 100 students will be from Jack Mel. The rest are coming from different places, and so we had to raise money for the transportation and the room and board for all those kids that are coming. And actually, one of the places where we were most successful in raising money was Park City. You know, a lot of big hearts up here, and people that could understand that this is a really worthwhile thing to do. And so this particular Modus After Dark, any proceeds from this are going to this project. So.
In the past, they've donated proceeds to the food bank, or I think it was the Road Home, things like that. But this time they're donating it to our cause, which is very nice.
It occurs to me that in addition to all of the personal experiences that your students will have, to get to see a group of this size, 16 musicians,
Yeah.
I have to think this is going to be, in the very best way, a mind-blowing experience for these students, for these musicians.
I think it'll be mind-blowing for us too, though.
Yeah.
You know, when they play their final concert and our music director is conducting, and we've, you know, fine-tuned everything we possibly can over the course of that week.
We've already started preparing. We've sent the music with our bowings for the string players. We've started making little videos, tutorials, telling them, you know, watch out for this place because it's pretty hard, and then we show them how to do it.
How fun.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
I've gotten
so
questions from Haiti. So yeah, it's really wonderful.
Well, my heart is warmed by just thinking the prospect of this wonderful event. And this is going to be next month, you said?
Yeah, we're leaving. We have a concert on the 25th, the Utah Symphony concert at Abravanel Hall, and then I think we all get on various different red eyes at around 2 hours after the concert's over.
Right.
And we head down.
So let's talk about this weekend's event here in Park City.
Yeah.
So we're playing the Schubert Quintet, two movements. Those same two movements we're going to perform for the kids in Haiti, because all 5 of us in that group are going to Haiti. So so you'll get a taste of what the kids will get to hear. And
Exciting.
Mercedes, our principal flutist, is also playing a couple of solos.
She's going to Haiti too.
She's also coming.
Yeah.
And Jason, our fabulous pianist, he's playing some solo works, and he's always dazzling.
Then
so.
we're going to play a Piazzolla trio with him.
Oh, that's right. Piazzolla is like a tango crossover, jazz, classical mix, and it's really fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's really fun for the audience and probably fun for you as musicians
It is really
as well
fun.
to stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
Totally.
And time, location, etc. for the event?
O.P. Rockwell.
That's right.
Yes.
9 p.m. on March 3rd.
Geez, what an
OP's
awesome place
at
for
9
it.
p.m.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and apparently they have a piano. So.
And a stage area. So.
And they really have, I realize that as acoustic musicians, maybe the sound system isn't a thing that you might think about as much, but for a venue of its size and in as relatively small of a town as Park City, the sound system is really great. They do a great job at O.P. Rockwell. So.
And I think there's a $5 cover charge, which is all going to the Haiti thing.
Great.
And then there'll be opportunities to write a check further if you feel like donating.
And I think they're making a special drink that's especially profitable for
Fantastic.
Oh, great.
Fantastic.
us. The Haitian.
I see.
The
That's nice.
Haitian.
Yeah.
And should folks go to the Modus website then for details or just to find out more about
Sure.
your organization?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Modus, Facebook, all sorts of, even the Utah Symphony website, I think, will list it.
There'll be
yeah.
links, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure to meet you. I'm really excited for your trip.
Yeah, we are too.
Sounds like an amazing experience
too.
to have, and I hope that we'll be in touch. And please come back after your trip and bring photos and videos and all that kind of stuff. We'd love to share that with our audience.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, Friday night, O.P. Rockwell, something a little bit different. Hippies, don't have your feelings hurt. Classical music is for you too. We'll be right back. Legendary professional wrestler and actor Bruno Sammartino is in the house right after this.